What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Stump the Spread NBA Picks Show. We are going to go over all four games for Thursday night. We don't have lines for one of the games, but that's okay. We're going to go over it anyway. We're looking first at the Lakers at the Celtics. The Lakers just lost to the Hawks. AD didn't play in that game, and all the news I can find is saying he's closer to doubtful than questionable for this game tonight. So everyone thought there would be some big trade for the Lakers coming down the line with the trade deadline looming, but D'Angelo Russell is playing well, and all that news is kind of quieted down. So I'm not going to hold my breath. I think there's still a chance to make a move, but right now that's not seeming to impact the roster too much. Lakers tend to play up to their level of competition when they're at full strength, but they're not going to be at full strength for this one. I think there's even some chance that LeBron ends up sitting this thing out. The Celtics, on the other hand, they just took down the Pacers the last time out. They gave up a big lead. They should have blown them out, but it didn't really end up in a blowout. And the Celtics come into this game healthy. Boston is making a case to be the best team in the NBA right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see them come out of the East, and I don't think anybody else would, but all their fans care about right now is seeing their regular season success translate into postseason triumph. So we're going to go ahead and take the Celtics, get the win and cover in this one. No AD is a huge deal. We're going to go ahead and assume that he doesn't play. If he does end up playing, everything's going to change, including this line. The Lakers are only 9-15 against the spread when playing on the road this season, so that's something else we want to look at. Take the Celtics in a blowout. Next, we're going to look at the Pacers at the Knicks. The Pacers couldn't complete their comeback against the Celtics, even though Halliburton came back from his hamstring injury. Felt like he was maybe rushing that a little bit, but he looked good out there, so what do I know? The Pacers are looking healthy for right now, and we can safely assume that Halliburton will be out there, but you always have to worry about him re-aggravating that injury if he came back a little bit soon, or maybe he's lost a step in trying to keep from messing up that hamstring any worse. Injuries like that can really stick with you. The Knicks have won 8 in a row. They are going absolutely crazy. They have made a great trade to pick up Anunoby and Precious. Jalen Brunson leading the way is a concern for once the playoffs are starting, as his lack of height can put him in some bad spots. Julius Randle being out is going to be an interesting thing to see if the Knicks can overcome that. So far, they don't seem to be missing him too much, but they haven't had to deal with his absence for very long, and teams hadn't really had a chance to figure out what is the best thing to do against this team now that they're missing one of their primary scorers, ball handlers, kind of everything. We're going to take the Pacers on the road in this one, as they're more than capable of keeping things close. They're 12-9-1 against the spread on the road this season. And while the Knicks have been very good at Madison Square Garden, they still do have a lot to figure out with Randle being sidelined. I don't fully trust him here yet. We're going to take the points with the Pacers. I don't know if they win or lose this game, but I think it's going to come down to the last possession or two. Looking at the 76ers at the Jazz, moving right along here, the current spread is telling us that Embiid is going to miss this game as well. And with his absence dragging on, got to be a big concern for 76ers fans. Philly is only 3-7 without the Embiid this season, and they've suddenly lost 4 straight. When you're leaning on just Maxey and Tobias Harris to fill the gap left by Embiid, that's a tough look. The Jazz just lost to the Knicks and have dropped 2 straight, but are coming home after a 6-game road trip. Utah is sneakily in 10th place in the West, and for a team that came into the season with little to no expectations and little to no hype, all of a sudden, they look capable of getting a play-in spot. Like, it's not out of the question at all. Markkanen is an absolute monster right now. We're not hearing anything anymore about this team being sellers at the trade deadline. So, yeah, maybe they just keep this together. It's keeping the locker room relaxed. We're going to go ahead and take the Jazz at home, where they're a league best 16-5 against the spread. I think we see them really show out after finally getting back home from an extended road trip. They're going to be ready for some home cooking. They're going to put up some numbers. Now we're going to kind of look at the Cleveland against Grizzlies game. The Cavaliers come into this one relatively healthy, so that's good. There's no line out for this game as of yet, but when you look at Memphis's depth chart, there's not a whole lot to be happy about here. Sure, the Cavaliers are playing on back-to-back nights. They're coming off a win in this one. A solid win over the Pistons, although not a blowout. I think anything under double digits, we pretty much have to just go ahead and take the Cavaliers here. Memphis has been terrible against the spread at home this season. They are 7-14 against the spread when playing at home. That's just terrible. We're not going against a trend like that. We are going to go ahead and take Cleveland in this one at anything under double digits. That's all of our picks for today. That's all 4 games from this NBA slate. A pretty interesting slate. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, put any bets that you have down in the comments. Any bets that you put down there, I will research for you and give you a comment on them, telling you my exact thoughts, whether I think they're good or bad. Hey, I may even have to steal them from you. Let's see what you guys have. Put them down in the comments. See you tomorrow with another free pick video covering the entire NBA slate. Have a good one. See you later.